What is up, everybody? The Broken Amp is back, and I have a jam-packed hour or so of music for you. I have another artist spotlight. I also have a friend with me today where we are going to reminisce about one of our favorite bands and share some stories from the times we've seen this band live. You're not going to want to miss it, so let's kick it off. Playing first, I have one from Lemon Knife off their 2025 album Reptile Wisdom. Here's the Tortoise. That was Lemon Knife with the Tortoise. Check them out. They have a cool style with their literal lyrics and punk edge. This week's Artist Spotlight is coming up, and we're talking about a band that's making serious waves in the pop-punk scene, Twilight Stuntwork. This duo hails from the North Wales coast and is made up of bassist and vocalist Chris James, alongside guitarist and vocalist Liam Jones. Their story actually starts as a Blink-182 tribute band, a fitting origin for a pair who wear their pop-punk influences proudly. But when the pandemic hit and live gigs came to a standstill, Chris and Liam didn't just sit back. They started writing their own material, channeling that downtime into a new, creative chapter. And what came out of it? Well, a sound that blends all the best parts of the early 2000s pop punk with a more modern, emotionally driven edge. We're talking tight guitar riffs, catchy vocal lines, and lyrics that cut through the noise. It's nostalgic without being stuck in the past, fresh, high energy, and packed with feeling. You of course can hear the Blink influence, but there are flashes of A Day to Remember and other pop-punk powerhouses, and even a little bit of that UK grit that I feel sets them apart. Their debut single Paradise dropped to strong reception. It's got that summer jam feel, but with an undercurrent of vulnerability that gives it staying power. And they didn't stop there. After Paradise, they followed up with You and I, a track that really cemented what Twilight Stuntwork is about. It's an emotionally charged anthem that leads into big, melodic hooks and dynamic, punchy instrumentation. The song explores the strength and resilience of love, and it manages to both be uplifting and raw, a tricky balance that they pull off impressively. Here's You and I by Twilight Stuntwork.
Lead the way. Our hearts become far from home, where the north cold wind blows. You and I, forever. We've got to go where we used to lay close. You and I, forever.
That was Twilight Stuntworks' catchy anthem, You and I. Now, their latest single, Lana, is taking things up a notch. It's bold, fast, and bursting with attitude. With its driving guitars, shout-along chorus, and sharp production, Lana is a full-throttle ride through the angst and adrenaline of youth. If you grew up screaming along to Warped Tour bands and jumping around in tiny venues, this one's going to hit hard. Right now, Twilight Stuntwork are wrapping up work on their debut EP, a collection of tracks that promises to build on everything they've done so far. Expect big riffs, relentless drums, and bass lines that'll shake the walls. Their music is for anyone who still believes in the power of pop punk to be loud, honest, and fun. So whether you're a longtime fan of the genre or just discovering what pop punk is all about, keep your ears on them and check out their jam, Lana. That was Lana by this week's Artist Spotlight, Twilight Stuntwork. They clearly have something to say, and they're turning it all the way up and proving that no, this is not a phase, it's a lifestyle. Check them out. Search Twilight Stuntwork on Instagram, Spotify, and of course, I'll play them any chance I get here in the Roken Amp on Sonic Scout Radio. Up next, I have last week's Artist Spotlight, The Classifieds. Now, if you were listening last week, need a reminder, or if you need a brief introduction, The Classifieds are a blend between in-your-face punk rock and folky acoustic tunes. And no matter which attitude they have that day, one thing that's for sure is that you can count on their raw sound. Here's their stripped-down acoustic track, Symphonies.
Came down by Riverside. I came down on a Friday night. Take back all the hurt. Take back what you've learned. Give me just a little bit of these nights. Give me just a little bit of your life. Give me just a little bit of your skin and bones. Give me just a little bit of these nights. Give me just a little bit of your life. Give me just a little bit of your skin and bones. All alone. I came down on a Friday night. Long time getting high. I came down by Riverside. I came down on a Friday night. Take back all you've heard. Take back what you've learned. Give me just a little bit of these nights. Give me just a little bit of your life. Give me just a little bit of your skin and bones. These nights, give me just a little bit of your life. Give me just a little bit of your skin and bones. All alone. Give me just a little bit of these nights. Give me just a little bit of your life. Give me just a little bit of your skin and bones. Give me just a little bit of these nights. Give me just a little bit of your life. Give me just a little bit of your skin and bones. All alone.
There were the Classifieds with their acoustic song, Symphonies. We are going to keep rolling with some slower, folkier sounding stuff before we pick it back up. Here we have San Pablo with Don't Paint the Devil. In my opinion, this song blends gritty garage rock with a little bit of post-punk. Check it out.
I've been waiting for this, and it couldn't have come soon enough. Not soon enough. nothing further from the truth. Nothing lasts forever, even Houston rain. Houston rain. Got my hopes up, someone told me. Don't paint the devil on the wall. Don't they say that pride pretends to fall? Expect the best and plan for the worst. Don't paint the devil on the wall. Got my hopes up and someone told me. Don't paint the devil on the wall. Don't they say that pride pretends to fall? Expect the best and plan for the worst. Don't paint the devil on the wall. Don't paint the devil on the wall. Don't they say that pride pretends to fall? Expect the best and plan for the worst. Don't paint the devil on the wall. Don't paint the devil. Don't paint the devil on the wall. Don't paint the devil. They say the pride portends a fall. Don't paint the devil. Don't paint the devil on the wall.
I compare that to early era Arctic Monkeys. That was San Pablo with Don't Paint the Devil. We are going to slightly pick the pace back up with what I have for you next. Shibuya Terminal, formed in 2014 in Tokyo. Here's their track, Gingham.
All the speculation on your chest. This isn't any kind of hard times. What if she never had another man? Where's your baby at tonight? I say I'm heading up the industry. She said to take her for a joyride. She wear her favorite plated jewelry, and all I wanna do is lie and tell her I don't care about nobody but I don't care about nobody but you. close to them all alone. So there's nothing that she's gotta prove. I'm praying you are everything you own instead of everything on you. Oh, you're killing me now. All I want is to say mostly good things over bad things, and you tell me what you think it means. I'll care about nobody, but I'll care about nobody but you. I know I'll care about nobody, but I'll care about no one at all. Oh, you know that I do. Oh, you know that I will. Oh, you know that I do. You know you're only still here.
That was Gingham by Shibuya Terminal. Pipe Fire's up next, formed all the way back in 1991 in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm going to play you their track, Savior. This song was released in 2016, but you can really hear the influence from the 1980s, early 1990s alternative style fused with some synth sounds. I like it. I hope you do too. Here it is.
Angels on my shoulders, an angel at my feet.
You just heard Savior from Pipe Choir. All right. Well, joining us now is longtime friend of mine. He goes by Luca. Luca, what's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Doing well. So you and I, we've been friends for, it's got to be like over 2 decades now. And in that time, we've hit a ton of shows together. So I figure what better way to relive some of these memories than right here. So thanks for jumping on.
Yeah, man, I can't believe how many shows we went to back in the day.
Right, right.
So many good ones. Maybe we saw one band one too many times, but I definitely don't think it was one too many. Every show was amazing.
That's true. Every show was amazing. But, it's funny you say that. So, getting right into it, I just got to ask, out of all the concerts that we've gone to, which one stands out the most to you?
Oof. I'm going to have to go with Taste of Chaos Tour 2007. It was the first really, really big concert that I went to that had such a stacked lineup. If I'm trying to think of it, like 30 Seconds to Mars, The Used, Seosin, Census Fail, obviously personal favorite. Aiden was there. Man, it was just loaded. Oh, Chiodos, cannot forget Chiodos.
Yeah, can't forget about Chiodos. Yeah.
So
yeah.
It was a cool way to fall in love with a lot more bands after seeing them live. And back then, the only thing with 30 Seconds to Mars was Jared Leto. Like, he was known for being in Fight Club, and this was his next big thing. So I wasn't too big into wanting to be around that. But when you listen to how great they were in concert, wow, it was amazing. I can't stop thinking about that concert. I'd love to go back to that concert again.
Yeah. 2007 was a good year, and it's so funny with you say about 30 Seconds to Mars. Like, a lot of people knew him as an actor and everything, and they're like, oh, he fronts a band too, and it kind of happens to be the music that we like, and they turn out to be really good. So yeah, it definitely caught a lot of people by surprise. So I totally agree with you. The 2007 Taste of Chaos Tour was great. The one that stands out the most to me was when we saw Census Fail together in Arizona. I mean, we've seen it a few times, but this one was different. And, for the audience out there, for context, you live in Arizona. I'm in Wisconsin. You moved to Arizona, like, how many years have you been in Arizona now?
It's been like 12 years now, man.
12 years. Wow. Yeah, time flies. Yeah. But
Yeah,
with
it really
that,
does.
yeah. And, with that, you randomly called me up one day and you're like, hey, Census Fail is playing near me. They're doing a meet and greet. They're doing an acoustic set before their actual live show. You should fly down here and make a weekend of it. And I wasn't sure at first. I was just kind of like, man, I'm not sure if I can make it happen. But then a few days later, I get a text from you and you're like, I bought the tickets, meet and greet, acoustic set, live show, 2 tickets, the whole thing, like, get down here. I was like, well, at that point I had no choice. I had to get myself a flight to Arizona for that. And, I'll tell you, it was worth it because the meet and greet was great. They took the time to chat with everyone. The acoustic set was super cool. And the live show was just classic Census Fail. And what I loved about it is that the whole thing was so spontaneous, and that's what made it so memorable for me. It just wasn't another local show. It was just that full experience.
It's cool seeing different venues. I've kind of like adapted to the venues here in Arizona compared to Milwaukee, how they're all so old up there. And down here, you go to a strip mall and you go see, you have no idea that there's a venue there. So kind of checking out that Census Fail show here was a lot of fun. The band has evolved so much. So to get to do the meet and greet and meet all the new guys, I think you had some crazy good conversations with a couple guys. Just, hey, what are you all about? Like, getting to know them. And I think that was the most real part of the whole entire thing. Was getting to see how the band evolved and see what their taste in music is and what brought them to Census Fail.
Right. Yeah, it's funny you say that because the conversation is because, during that acoustic set, we just had so much time to talk about things. And I think we're going to talk about one of my other experiences coming up, but with Wisconsin roots, and they're kind of like, what's that kind of big sausage looking thing that you eat that's really not that good for you? And we're like, oh, brats. And you don't really get that in a live show. You get that in that intimate acoustic setting when there's only like, 20 of us just sitting on the floor watching them play. So it was definitely pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely awesome. The fact that Buddy from Census Fail is a Green Bay Packer fan from his grandpa, that's pretty cool too. So Rep anytime you rep any Green Bay Packers stuff, you know he's gonna call you out and say something.
Right. Right.
It's a great attention grab if you're gonna go to a show.
For sure.
This summer has no right. The suffering inside us, we're left to our fate. Left to our fate. I'm on a present time, hysterical inside of disappointed faces. It's in our faces. You're gonna need those golden sounds. We're gonna raise this into ground. This devastation's lost innocence. Your inattention, your inattention. The light is in your eyes, broken and alive. You can't sit till it lies escape. Fall underneath fire, grow into the eye. You can't get till it lies escape. This tunnel has no end. The definition changed its way. Left to our fate. Left to our fate. Under the desert tide, empirical inside the disappointed faces. It's in your faces. You're gonna feel those golden sounds. We're gonna break this into ground. This revelation's lost innocence. Your inattention, your inattention. The light is in your eyes, broken and alive. You can't sit till it lies escape. Fall underneath fire, grow into the eye. You can't get till it lies escape. The light is in your eyes, broken and alive. You can't sit till it lies escape. Fall underneath fire, grow into the eye. You can't get till it lies escape.
That was Portrayal with Clearing Houses. So that Arizona trip was legendary for me. And this segues into the next point. Like, I also remember this another time you sent me a video from a different Census Fail show. It was one that I couldn't make down in Arizona. And you were with a bunch of your friends down there. And you just sent me a video and all of you just roasting me for missing out, which I thought was really funny. Do you remember that?
Yeah, you know what's funny? I only knew one guy in that whole entire thing. Everybody behind me I just turned to everybody. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna record this real quick. Can you guys all just say "F you, Billy"? They're like, yeah, we're in. So I just like turned the camera and started saying, being like "F you, Billy," and the whole entire crowd behind us just started joining in the middle of the concert.
Yeah, it was a lot of regret that I couldn't make it, but that was funny because it was something I missed out on. But another standout show for me was when we were in our home state before you moved to Arizona, when we were both here in Wisconsin, and is what made that special. It wasn't even the performance. It was, I mean, the show itself was awesome, but it was what happened after the lights came up, and it was the crowd clears out and we're hanging back. And, you know, you and I were talking about how great the set was. We're waiting for the line to clear out so we can just exit and get back to our car and drive home. But then out of nowhere, Buddy, vocalist for Census Fail, he just strolls past us. He goes to the bar like a regular dude, gets himself a beer, and we looked at each other. We're like, okay, we have to go say hi. And, you know, we go up there and we start with the usual, like, oh, we're big fans. We've been listening to you since, you know, your early days from day one. But kind of like what you said before, that the conversation shifts and suddenly we're talking like casual bar talk. And again, it turns out he has Wisconsin roots. He's the same age of us. You mentioned the Green Bay Packers. He loves that same football team too. And we just start naming players. We're reminiscing about seasons. It was just surreal, just a down to earth, real good dude.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely amazing. And you even had another show that you went to where band members are coming on a yellow card. That was one I regret that I didn't go to. You let me know about it. I was like, I want to see yellow card, but I just wasn't motivated to go, and so much regret by not going to that show. It was so good. And didn't you say the violinist came out by you?
We did meet the violin player. It was me, two other buddies. We were at the merch table just buying t-shirts and stuff, and out of nowhere he just kind of strolls on, and his name is Sean, and all of a sudden we're like, oh wow, and then we walked up to him, and again, really nice guy. Actually got a picture with him that day too. Probably somewhere one of my old flip phones that probably doesn't even fire up anymore. But that was a cool moment as well. But and that's just one of those moments that reminded me of why, me personally, and you, I'm sure too, that we still love going to shows now as we're older. And it's just not the music; it's really the human connection that we get out of it.
Mm-hmm. I would say one of the huge things when we went to go see, of course, Census Fail again, but Newfound Glory.
Mm-hmm.
There was so many people that were from our school that we ran into there, and we're like, okay, I knew that Tim liked Newfound Glory. He was obsessed with them, but like, do you ever expect to really see him at a show? And the people who he brought with, we never expected to see from high school. So it was like an accidental hangout with a different set of people that you don't normally hang out with. They're weren't in our circle at all. But you just had the greatest time ever. And it's the way music kind of pulls everybody together. Whether you know them or not, you can still have a great conversation. And the common interest is music. And obviously, you're all there for the same reason, to see the same bands and enjoy the same type of music. It can bring up some amazing conversations.
Right. And that tour that Newfound Glory and Census Fail did together, which I thought was super cool, is that they were both equally big at the time. They both had a huge following, but there was no ego with it. It was every show, wherever they traveled, whichever city they were in that night, one night one would go on and then the other would close it out. And every night they would alternate who would be like the opener and who would be the headliner of that night. They rotated every night. There was no ego there. And I loved that. And it really showed in their performances because they were just there to have a good time, put on a good show. But you're so right. We ran into so many people we knew. We're like, oh, like, hey, I haven't seen you in how many years? And again, it's just that way music connects people.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta love some old school punk sound. That's where it all started from. That was Advantis with Veneno. I've got a feeling that this won't be your last time hanging out with here on this show, The Broken Amp. But with that, I want to give the audience a chance to get to know you a little better. We all know that we like music. That's why we're here. But besides music, can you share with everybody what else you're into and what else you got going on?
I'm that stereotypical guy. I'm all about sports. In fact, I'm into sports so much that I decided to have this podcast with these two other yahoos that I've known forever. One of them just so happens to be you. It's called the BRP Show. I thoroughly love where it's going. It's a funny little comedic sports show where we're not all serious about it. Yeah, we get some predictions right throughout the season, but we all just like to have a good bar talk, a good conversation, and we invite everybody in to join us and see the topics we're talking about and respond to them. What things do you like about your sports teams, or what things make you angry about sports? Let's just have a good conversation, have a beer, and talk it over.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Besides being a music junkie, I'm also a big time sports guy. Like you said, I co-host a show with you. It's called the BRP, also known as the Burp, with you, Luca, myself, our anchor T West, which I'm sure at some point will be on this show. So if anybody out there, if you're in the sports debates, hot takes, trivia, banter, all that good stuff, you should definitely check it out. You can find the Burp on Spotify and YouTube, Instagram, TikTok under BRP Show. So yeah, check it out. We have a good blend of music. We have a good blend of sports. We kind of have it all rolled up in one package. So, well, Luca, anything else you'd like to add?
Hey, thanks for having me on the show. Man, I'll have to better preparing. We got so many concerts that we went to. I can bring up a dozen more, man. We could talk about this all day if we really got out of control.
Well, we'll have a Luca segment here on this show as well. So, Luca, it's always a pleasure, my friend. Thanks again for joining me, and we will catch you next time.
Thanks for having me on.
It's better than yelling at the TV during a game. Yelling with us instead. Welcome to the BRP Podcast, brought to you by the Balls Rolling Productions. The podcast where hot takes come with cold drinks and zero filters. Tired of watered down sports talk and fake hot takes? Get real with the BRP Podcast, the show where sports meet personality. Stream The Burp now on Spotify and catch the chaos on YouTube. Subscribe to The Burp Show and listen to the action. Follow on Instagram and TikTok. Search BRP. Show sports talk that hits different.
You are listening to The Broken Amp on Sonic Scout Radio. We are going to roll right into Jazar's instrumental track, Never Enough. You know an instrumental track is good when you don't even miss the vocals. That was Never Enough by Jazar. I have 2 more songs to play for you before I say goodbye. Here's Fighter by OG's Not Again.
All right. Guilty, guilty eyes. In my reflection, I'm falling from the skies. Losing everything. I never wanted to let you down. No, I never wanted to burn this town. Now I'm walking through the wreck. Oh, yeah. What is this? I've become deceiving everyone. No more, no more, no more. Let me be a fighter, fighter. When your back's against that wall, you're walking on a wire, wire. Oh, about to take that fall, I'll be drawing all the fire, fire. No prayer and no way down, baby, let me be a fighter, fighter. By your side, I'm going out. Battle, battle scars are all I have to show. See you in the stars. Along the road to you were giving me every chance, and I always aimed right at your back. Now I'm waking all alone. Oh, and I had all power, control, and not one friend to show it. No more, no more, no more. Let me be a fighter, fighter. When your back's against that wall, you're walking on a wire, wire. Oh, about to take that fall, I'll be drawing all the fire, fire. No prayer and no way down, baby, let me be a fighter, fighter. By your side, I'm going out. Hey, you. Next time you see my face, I won't blame you. If you turn the other way, just know I don't know where I'm going, but I know one thing for sure, yeah, I could be so much more. I could be a fighter, fighter. When your back's against that wall, you're walking on a wire, wire. Oh, headed towards that fall, I'll be drawing on the fire, fire. No prayer and no way down, baby, let me be a fighter, fighter. By your side, I'm going out.
That was OG's Not Again with Fighter. Thank you for listening to The Broken Amp on Sonic Scout Radio. Check me out on social media, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Search The Broken Amp and let me know what you think of the show. If you or anyone you know that is an unsigned artist and want to be featured on this show, contact me at bill@sonicscoutradio.com. I have the Classifieds again, which will be playing us out. Here's Shirley Ann.
I've got something to tell you, baby. I've got nothing left except maybe